He celebrated the death of Corey Comprator. He mocked it and made fun of it. I'll tell you this. When he says the right doesn't fear any of this stuff, it's a fabrication, and I can tell you how I know this. Without naming any of the prominent conservative personalities, I can tell you that many of them that I personally know have 24-hour security details that cost millions of dollars per year, and they have to sleep with 4 men surrounding their home every single night. And when I've gone and met with these people, I've had to we would go out for food and there's 4 guys surrounding us all the time. In fact, I have armed guards. And now as we're planning a trip, as I mentioned, I'll be in Austin soon. We are contemplating how much is in our budget for armed security to be transporting me around. Destiny is lying. He is creating terror intentionally. His statements are meant to be clear. Charlie Kirk died because Trump won the presidency because you voted for who you want to. What he's saying is this will continue. The left will be violent. They will kill again unless you stop and surrender and let them do whatever they want.
It's just terrorism. He's endorsing terrorism. He's saying that people should be afraid of being killed because of their politics. That is what terrorism is. It's not some kind of big convoluted concept. When you say, I believe that violence should be used, and I endorse using violence to modify people's political expression, that is terrorism. And it's exactly what Destiny's saying. He should get a visit from the FBI. And I think that if they decide or they find that he should go to trial. And if he is, he should be put in jail.
Yeah, well, and look, it's very careful what Destiny's saying here, where he's saying the right needs to learn to stop turning up the temperature. Okay, how exactly was Charlie Kirk turning up the temperature? Just having conservative beliefs?
One more thing to that point. There has never in any society, there has never been a situation where people are given, like when terrorism is used, and the response from the people has been to go to their leaders and say, give in to the terrorists. That's what he's saying. He's saying we need to turn up the heat on the conservatives so they'll go to Donald Trump and say, Donald Trump, you need to do things, and other Republicans, you need to do things that turn the temperature down. That has never worked in human history, ever. The response will be what I've said, which is use the force of government to put those people that would use terror into effing jail forever.
Let's put this into context, what he's saying. The Republicans need to go to Trump and tell Trump to turn things down. Charlie Kirk never advocated for violence, never insulted people based on race. They have lied about him every step of the way. He sought debate. He let anyone debate him, and he was shot in the neck by a man. And you know what? I'll do this. I will give you the lightest, nonpartisan approach I can to the assessment we have on the shooter and his motivation. Axios reports 2 days ago, or I'm sorry, this is yesterday. First post, I think it was just almost 2 days ago. Kirk investigators, aghast transgender roommate may lead to motive. Axios reporting this. This is not a conservative organization. And they said, authorities are investigating whether Tyler Robinson, suspected of killing Kirk, believed Kirk's views on gender identity were hateful to people like Robinson's transgender roommate. 6 sources familiar with the case tell Axios. So this is first and foremost. What they are saying is what we don't know if gender ideology was the motivating factor. What we do know is this individual, at the bare minimum, lived with a trans person. So forgive me if I say groypers don't live with trans people. That is a ridiculous fabrication. And here we are from Axios. How Charlie Kirk's killing sparked unfounded theories about groypers. And prominent mainstream liberals were running this lie. They also ran a lie where they claimed that the bullet engravings reported by Crowder and the Wall Street Journal said TRN, and that was simply the manufacturer's stamp. Right. It was a lie. Total fabrication. The bullet, in fact, said, "Hey, fascist, catch." Destiny's rebuttal on the show was that wasn't the bullet he was shot with, which is a meaningless distinction. It was in the magazine. And so I don't understand what his point is supposed to be, other than some are saying that Destiny's life has been ruined for some time. His family hates him. His kid hates him. and that he is doing these things intentionally to destroy his own life. And that may be the case. Now, the reason I bring that up is because the reason they're saying this is don't blame all liberals for a man who is intentionally destroying his own life through rage and addiction or whatever it is he's doing. Perhaps.
On some level, I like that he says this publicly so we know what the face of evil looks like. And also, who bailed out the arsonists in 2020? Who ignored David Dorn getting shot in the head? You know, it was like the left was cheering on all of that destruction.
Aaron Danielson shot in the chest by
Right.
Michael Reinhold walking down the street in Portland.
Children getting shot at different Chaz locations.
Yep.
So, and I'll just point this out real quick. New York Post. Charlie Kirk assassination suspect had furry fixation and his trans boyfriend proclaimed support for Biden on social media. It is fascinating to me that Destiny, he knows he's lying. They all know they're lying. As I pointed out already, unfounded theories about groypers. These Democrats have been lying incessantly. Now, something I've shown, I was showing all throughout the day, and I want to pull this up for you guys. Let me see if I can find this one. I've played it like on every single.
I hope everyone's
show I
reading
did today.
John Dutoit's tweet up there.
Yeah. I just don't like that guy's face, mate, that Destiny bloke. That's the reason why there's got that cuck chair in the corner of them hotels, mate. I mean, like...
He's a possessed Muppet.
Here we go. I'm going to play this. Nice. I'm going to play this video for you guys in this context. Here you go.
So, hi. I haven't spoken about the Charlie Kirk murder until now because we didn't know anything. And since my channel was created not to report the news but to make sense of it, I felt like the only responsible thing to do was to wait until there was more information. It now appears that the person who shot and killed right-wing political commentator Charlie Kirk was like the majority of shooters in America, a young white male from a conservative pro-gun religious background.
Now let's just pause real quick and break down the manipulation technique she used. We call this assumptive reasoning or assumptive language. That is to say something that will trick someone into assuming the statement is connected or to assume an output. That is, he came from a conservative background. She is hoping that you will then assume he held those same views. There's a bunch of ways the media does this. One of my favorite things, one of my favorite techniques they use would be like this. I spoke with Shane Cashman. In a conversation, I was told that he hates vanilla ice cream. Now, it sounds like what I'm saying is I talked to Shane and Shane says he doesn't want to eat vanilla. No, that's not what I said. There's a period there. In a conversation. That was a totally different conversation. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I never said that. And that's the game they play. Now, the reality is, we know this guy. It's reported by law enforcement, media, numerous journalists that have investigated this, people who have talked to the shooter's friends and family. He was left aligned. She says more.
After being told for 2 straight days that the left had declared war on America, that the shooter was most likely trans, or in Congresswoman Nancy Mace's words, pro-tranny. After the Wall Street Journal published an article they had to later walk back, that the bullets had a pro-trans message because it turned out to be just the markings of one of the world's biggest ammunition factories.
Absolute abject lie.
Yes, man.
And there's no way she doesn't know that because they did a press conference and there were numerous reports on this. What she is basing her worldview off of is random anonymous Twitter accounts that were posting images of bullet casings with TRN for Turin on the bottom. And she ran with the lie without fact checking, either because she is developmentally disabled, which I don't think so. I think she is intentionally and willfully lying to obfuscate the motives of the assassin, who is closer to mainstream Democrat than anyone wants to admit, even liberals. At first, they celebrated until the Yankees did a memorial, a moment of silence, until the Cowboys. I think most NFL teams now apparently had...
There's just 4 that didn't. It was only
4 that didn't.
I don't know which ones, but it was just the 4. I think it was all of them, basically, except the 4 of them, yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
Some of the casinos on their marquees in memory of Charlie Kirk. And when the liberals realized Charlie Kirk was a moderate, beloved by most people, Chris Pratt has spoken out. Bill Maher has spoken out. Jamie Kennedy, I think. I just saw him. Comedian.
Yeah,
Mick Jagger.
That was great.
Mick Jagger did.
Yep, he did.
The left began to panic when they realized they're on the wrong side of history. So they're trying to change the narrative. And they are playing dirty, evil, psychotic games to do it, but we will expose them. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.